Welcome, everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's What's Up Wednesday. Today is a beautiful day. We're going to do our makeup, and I'm going to talk to you guys about Bam Margera being 5150'd. But before we get into it, welcome everybody to Accountability with Nicole. This channel is all about recovery, addiction, and accountability. We hold ourselves accountable and we talk about other people needing to be held accountable because accountability is not cancel culture. Accountability is not bullying and accountability is not harassment. So, I'm so glad you guys are here today. I haven't decided what makeup look I'm going to do, but that's not the most important thing that we need to talk about. Everybody, come on in. I'm live on YouTube to those of you guys that are listening to the podcast. So I'll try to be as descriptive as I can if I am describing anything like my makeup look or things like that. But I wanted to get into discussing the whole Bam Margera situation because you guys know that I started working with Dr. B in 2009, the end of 2019. Okay. And so that's how long I've been working, like helping people that need to get into treatment and that kind of thing. My first job working in treatment was as like an outreach coordinator where I would answer the phones for American Addiction Institute of Mind and Medicine, and I would help anybody that was calling on that 1-800 number, whether they were wanting to come to that treatment center or another treatment center. I would help them no matter what. I would help them find the resources that they needed to get set up in treatment, in mat treatment, therapy, whatever it may be. And I've been doing that. I still do that for Dr. B to this day. And so I have a lot of experience with like the world of treatment industry drama and scandals and things that people do in the treatment industry that are not legal or that are considered like unethical. Because whenever I got hired at my job, my bosses taught me everything that I needed to know, so I didn't do anything I wasn't supposed to do because I didn't know. I was brand new, so what's been going on and what's been happening with Bam Margera, you guys, it's really unfortunate. He has been in and out of treatment centers for like 2 years now, and he's been going from California to Florida, California to Florida, California to Florida, and back. I want to ask you guys a question, okay? Why is Bam Margera's family like searching for him when he's a grown man and he can be out there getting high if he wants to? Like, what they are doing is like not what you're supposed to do if you have a loved one that's struggling with addiction. Like, the more that they push and they force him to do things, the more that he's going to do the direct opposite of what they want him to do. Okay, so I really want to talk about this. Okay, so any normal person like me, when I started acting out in my addiction, my parents said, okay, you want to get high? Not under this roof. Sayonara. And they kicked me out, and I was on my own. I had to fend for myself, right? They didn't come hunting me down. They didn't ping my phone. Like, Bam's family has the police trying to find out where he's at by his cell phone, by cell phone towers. Let me explain to you guys something, okay? Bam Margera was quoted saying, I'm going to go smoke crack with the bums until I die if I don't get to see my son. Let me just share something with you guys. You don't negotiate with an active addict, okay? If he wants to go smoke crack down by the river, then he can go smoke crack down by the river, okay? That's his prerogative, own ass man. Having his phone pinged and hunting him down to have him 5150'd, it's ridiculous. There's no reason why they should be doing that. There's no reason. He can smoke crack down by the river if he wants to. Okay? Like, I don't understand. But what I think is going on from my outside perspective is Bam Margera is worth a lot of money. Okay? And when he's acting a fool and getting fucked up and doing all this shit, then he's not fucking making all the money that he needs to be making for that family to stay afloat. And I think that that's what the thing is. I think that they are taking advantage of the fact that Bam is a celebrity and they need him to live. And so without him, their meal ticket is gone. Okay, their meal ticket is gone. What do you guys think? What is your opinion? Please let me know. Okay, so the first thing that I learned whenever I'm helping people is that they have to want to help themselves. Okay, it doesn't matter how much I try to convince them. It doesn't matter how much I try to, you know, uh, sway their opinion. Like at the end of the day, the addict has to be wanting it themselves. Okay, now you'll probably say, well, Nicole, what do interventionists do? What an intervention is, I'm just going to be straight up honest with you guys, is a guilt trip. It is a room full of people all telling you how they don't want you to die and all the things you've done to hurt them, and they don't want you to die, so they want you to go to rehab because they can't deal with you fucking up their life anymore. Okay? A person who really wants to help their adult child will go and get help for themselves. Okay? If you're an adult and your child is out there running the streets, that's not your fault. That's not your problem, and it's not your responsibility. Okay? What your responsibility to do as a parent is to love them. Love them, and when they're ready to get better, help them find resources. Have those resources on fucking deck for when they're ready to get treatment, okay? I believe that forcing people into treatment, there's a small percentage of people when you force them into treatment that get sober, right? And that's great. But at the end of the day, like, we have our own autonomy. We should be able to choose when we want to get sober. There's some people who just enjoy doing drugs and they don't ever want to stop. And guess what? That's their prerogative. That is their decision. And so it makes me sick to see Bam's family like running around, like fucking putting all these sanctions on him, 5150'ing him, putting him in and out of treatment, because it's not, Bam doesn't want to be there. He doesn't care. He doesn't like it. He doesn't want to learn from that situation. So anything that's being told to him in those treatment centers is going in one ear and out the other. In one ear and out the other. But let me explain to you guys how profitable it is for those treatment centers. Okay? Bam Margera, if he doesn't have insurance, he's paying cash money every time he goes inside those treatment centers. Okay? That's upwards from $30,000 to $100,000 for 30 days. Okay? That's a lot of money that they're getting for Bam going into treatment. Okay, do you see how this can be like lucrative? So what I believe is happening is I believe that there is somebody behind the scenes that works for these treatment centers, a person who is like their contact person, like a Lima. And that person makes sure that whenever they are trying to find Bam and capture him, that there's a place for Bam to go, like a treatment center. And that person is getting paid. They are getting broke off. I promise you they are. Okay, they're getting mad fucking money for that. And another thing is, like, a lot of people try to force people into recovery, like through abstinence, right? Maybe abstinence isn't the way for Bam. Maybe Bam needs to be on the Vivitrol shot for his alcoholism. Okay? Maybe Bam needs a chance to try and get into therapy and find something that works for him in the therapy space, you know? But like having him like wrangled up and caught like a wild animal, that's fucking it's not right, you guys. It's not right. It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy for the people who are doing it. The people who are totally obsessed with his life. Okay? Like he's a grown man. When my husband relapsed, guess what? I couldn't chase him down and make him stop. This was back in 2020. Okay? I couldn't chase him down and make him stop. I just had to let it run its course. I had to allow him to be where he was going to be, because it's unhealthy for you. Like, they're allowing Bam's whole life to consume their life. Okay? Like, they need to focus on keeping themselves healthy and doing the right thing for their life. And when Bam is ready to get sober, he'll come and get sober. Or when Bam dies, he'll die. And that is the reality of addiction. Okay? Like these people are too, hey Mindy, what's up, girl? These people are so focused on Bam Margera getting sober and trying to force him to do so. It's like a whole nother Britney Spears situation, is what I truly believe. There's money to be made, there's money to be had, and so it benefits them for Bam to be under lock and key in treatment. What do you guys think? Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah, obviously what they're doing is not working. So why do they continue to do it, right? The same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. Okay, so I wanted to talk because I watched, what's her face? I watched BJ Investigates. I watched her 4-part series with Bam coming on and doing an interview with her. Now, in the first couple of videos, he was drunk. Like you could tell. Okay? But I think in the last one, it was better. Anyway. She didn't have no way of telling what he was doing or what he was going to be on. So I don't blame BJ at all. You know? But if I was to interview Bam, I would have made sure that he was of sound mind before I did it. You know? Because I feel like he just makes himself look stupider and stupider. When he comes up all messed up, you know? Yes. And I feel like there's like a thin line between like having somebody on your channel and sharing their story and exploiting them. And I don't think BJ's exploiting him. Please don't think that. I love BJ. I'm a BJ fan. For those of you guys that are listening to the podcast, BJ Investigates on YouTube, chef's kiss, okay? So I'm a BJ fan, but I feel like, okay, so how many of you guys watch Soft White Underbelly? Soft White Underbelly. Okay, so it's been brought to my attention recently by a bunch of people that people believe that Mark from Soft White Underbelly is exploiting people, okay, by having them on when they're in their vulnerable states, right? Now, I can agree on that. Because let's rewind to the motherfucking Amanda situation. Okay? Remember Amanda Rabb? Yeah, Amanda Rabb. Okay? Amanda Rabb came on there and I fell in love with her the minute I set eyes on her on Soft White Underbelly. For those of you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, there's a YouTube channel called Soft White Underbelly, and he has people on his YouTube channel in like a portrait style interview where he has them come on. They're people who have lifestyles that are not like you would, not glorification, not amazing. Well, no, he does that too. He has people Ku Klux Klan members on. He has addicts on, prostitutes on. He has people that are kings and riches on. He has people who are slaves on, or worse, you know, that kind of thing. Slaves. I mean slaves as in like sex slaves. That kind of thing, okay? Like all kinds of different stories from all over the United States and the world, probably. So Amanda Rabb came on, and Amanda, when she first came on, she didn't look that bad, right? She still had a little bit of weight on her, but she was smoking crack. She talked about her father abusing her. And she talked about crack cocaine and how she felt like she was being, I thought she was having hallucinations, okay? Because the things that she was talking about didn't make sense at the time, okay? She was talking about being like videotaped and followed around and just crazy shit like that, right? Well, as time went on, we started to find out that what she was talking about might have actually been happening to her, okay? Because Mark Leda connected her and her dad with this girl named Lima Bravamovich or something like that, okay? And Lima was supposed to help her get sober. Well, she got sober, but then she died in the treatment center that Lima had her in. Okay? And it was so sad, you guys, because we got to watch her go from completely beat down. She was so, so skinny, like very, very skinny, right? Um, and it was bad, to sober and in recovery in this treatment center. But one of the things that I didn't like about the treatment that they were giving her was it was a virtual reality treatment, okay? And the virtual reality treatment, what she would do was she would put on the Oculus, like my son plays, the virtual reality headset, and she would put that on, and it would throw her into her old neighborhood where she was triggered. She would see like crack cocaine and bottles of alcohol and homeless people walking on the street and just all these things that would trigger a response from her, right? And sorry about this, the whole thought behind the whole virtual reality thing is like they'll trigger you while you're in a safe environment so you can learn how to cope with those triggers. But when they showed Amanda in this environment being triggered by these triggers on virtual reality, she was screaming bloody murder. Okay? And they were laughing at her. The people who were supposed to be there to help her, to support her, to help her process through these triggers were laughing at her. Okay? And that was like, what? That is unethical to me. Okay? That is unethical to me, to have her set up with that stinking thing on her forehead and looking at her triggers and then being there and laughing at her. Okay? You know what I believe happened to Amanda? I believe Amanda was a test crash dummy for Lima's whole experimental fucking treatment. That's what I believe. I believe she was a crash test dummy. Okay? Which, let me just break it down for you. A crash test dummy is somebody who the person who's using them doesn't value their life. They think that they are disposable. Nobody will miss them. Nobody will care for them. Allegedly, these are my opinions, just so y'all know. I believe that Lima saw an opportunity to use Amanda because nobody would miss her. It was just her and her dad, right? It was just her and her dad. They were not that well off, and she could have Amanda come test all this treatment and be the crash test dummy for this fucking treatment, right? And that's exactly what happened. Only Amanda died. Amanda died. Okay? When Amanda ended up dying, you guys, like, we were told that she died in her sleep, like from natural causes, basically, like it wasn't that big of a deal, that there was no medication in her system, and lies. We were told lies by Lima and by Mark on his channel. Well, whenever everybody went to go check out her death certificate and the autopsy, it showed a really different picture. It showed that she was on like gabapentin, clonidine, just a bunch of treatment center drugs. Okay? When you go to treatment, a lot of these treatment centers will pump you full of what I call the treatment center cocktail, which consists of clonidine, gabapentin, Seroquel. What else? Yeah, that. Okay? Maybe some Lexapro, but that's the treatment center cocktail. Okay? They're trying to keep you sedated and like dumbed down, basically, so you don't cause no fucking issues. And that's what I believe happened, is that she was on all these medications. She gained a substantial amount of weight in a short period of time, and she ended up fucking having something with her heart. Yes, so, I believe that Mark started out and he meant well, but I believe that as his channel blew up, he started getting wrapped up with unsavory characters, and I believe that Lima probably meant well too at the beginning, but you have to be like really careful when it comes to people's lives. Okay, so you can't just like throw people into treatment centers and walk away. Like, it's so important to like follow that person, and if you're going to put your name on a place, follow that person and make sure that they're taken care of. So let me share something with you, like what I do. Okay, so I had a gentleman recently who was trying to get hooked up with Recovery Delivered for his medication, and he couldn't for the life of him get somebody to answer the damn chat. And I don't know about you guys, but when I recommend something to somebody and I put my name on it, you best believe that I want to make sure that people are getting taken care of, right? So I took matters into my own hands and I called Dr. Robin and got him hooked up with an appointment right away, because I wanted to make sure that he was taken care of. And those are the kind of things that I think are really important when you're handling people that are trying to go into treatment and stuff, is not to just drop them off and be done with them. Like, you need to come back and check on them. You need to know how they're doing, if they're having any issues, because you're basically a representation of that place. At least that's what I believe, okay? And so a lot of these people, like in the Bam Margera situation, they're just dropping him off and being done with it, okay? And just leaving him there, and he's not doing anything that's helping him. Same thing with poor little Amanda. Like, she was just abandoned there and then died, and then we all hear about it a month later after she passed away. It was horrible. If you guys have not watched the BJ Investigate series that she did on it on YouTube, I highly, highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. But this all bleeds into the treatment industry body brokering, money over people, profit over people, is what a lot of treatment centers and people get into. They lose sight of the mission at hand, which is to help people get better, and they lose sight of that and they end up hurting people. Okay, so I made a video on TikTok about bribing. Okay, a lot of you guys don't know this, but if you are wanting to go to treatment and a treatment center offers to pay for you to fly you to their treatment center, that's illegal. Okay, and a whole bunch of people were commenting on my page and saying, well, how does intervention do it? Are you kidding me? Are y'all really asking me that? That's a fucking television show. Nothing that they do on that show is a representation of what is supposed to be done in real life. Okay, that is dramatized and all that stuff to make it more entertaining, you guys. Come on. But anyways, back to the subject at hand. Yeah, flying people out to your treatment center is illegal because it's considered a bribe. Okay, and a lot of these treatment center coordinators will do this so that way they can close a deal. Okay, so when you reach out to them for help, it's called leads. You're a lead. Okay, and when you reach out to them for help, they are supposed to close that lead. Make sure that you're coming to that treatment center. And a lot of these people will do anything they can, if you have money or PPO insurance, to make sure that they close the lead. Comprende? Comprende. I'm what you would call a lead, a closer on my job. Whenever I worked in treatment, I was the person who we talked to last, right? The person who would make sure that you were all set and ready to go. I would be there when you got there. I would greet you at the door, that kind of thing, Only these people will do whatever they can to make sure that you come to them. Like, they're not going to be like little Miss Nicole who says, oh, well, you know what? You said you want mat treatment. We don't do that here. Maybe this treatment center would be a better option for you. They're going to tell you a lie and say, oh, yeah, we can give you mat. We can do anything for you you want. Yeah? Then you're stuck there, right? So if they fly you out there, let me tell you a story about that. So they fly you out there, right? Let's say your insurance stops halfway through. Bitch, I have seen them kick people out and say, I'm sorry, and then kick them out of the treatment center, and those people are there with no money, no phone, nothing, but their little clothes on their back and the stuff they brought to treatment. And they're like 5 states away from home. Like, oh my God, Yeah, it's just sales is what it's called. Right, so if you have state insurance and you call one of these places, right, and you're like, I really need help, and you tell me you have insurance, but you don't tell them you have state insurance. And then all of a sudden you get to the part where it's time to get your stuff collected, your insurance or whatever, and you say, oh, I have state insurance. They'll be like, oh, sorry, I can't help you. Here's the number to SAMHSA, and hang up on your motherfucking ass. Okay, I've seen it over and over and over again, time and time again, 100,000,000%. Okay, like when I went through training with Dr. B and them, like they taught me everything I needed to know to make sure I could help people that weren't coming to us, because they didn't want me just hanging up the phone on people and saying, oh, I'm sorry, you don't have money, you don't have insurance, I can't help you. Luckily for me, we took state insurance and it was amazing. I got to help so many people. It was really, I loved doing it. Dr. B doesn't have a treatment center anymore, so now I just answer the phones for his medical office, which is a doctor's office. But back whenever he did have the outpatient center, I had a blast. I had a blast doing it. I got to talk to people. Let me tell y'all a story really fast, okay? So I guess we're talking about treatment centers, Bam Margera. We're talking about everything treatment centers and stuff like that. Okay, so let me tell y'all a story about a girl that I met in 2020 or 2021. I can't remember. So I had flown out to California to work with Dr. B at the office, and I do that like once or twice a year. I'll be doing that again this year in September. So I had gotten there, and I was there like on my second day, and the 1-800 number that comes to my phone, it rang, so I answered it, and it was a girl named Rachel. Okay, and Rachel had opened up to me about struggling with her addiction. She was a polysubstance abuser, addicted to meth, fentanyl, heroin, fentanyl, whatever you want to call it. Okay, cocaine, Xanax, everything, right? She was just a poly drug addict. And she wanted to get sober. She had $10,000 and she was ready to jump on a plane and come see us, right? And the longer I talked to her, the more I realized that she needed a lot more help than what we could provide her, because we were just an outpatient center, okay? I could have said, girl, jump on a plane, I'll throw you in sober living house and you can do our outpatient and take in her money, okay? But I didn't. I was like, she needed help. She was a prostitute, and she had a pimp, okay? And her pimp was very abusive to her. He would beat her. He would, the last time I think I had talked to her, right, she had called me that first time, and then she called me back. He had broken her ribs. Okay, so that gives you any idea of what I was dealing with. Okay, and she could not get away from it. So I was like, listen, hon, I don't want to put you on a plane and have you come out here and you not get the help that you need, because that's a lot of money that you're investing in yourself, and I don't want to take advantage of you. So me and her best friend Hannah became friends, and over the course of about 30 days, me and Hannah and her would talk on the phone every single day. Every day. And so we were trying to find her a treatment center that was affordable, that she wouldn't have to spend all her money on, that she could go to and get like long treatment, like 60 to 90 days, right? Well, Hannah found a place out in Tennessee that was free, and they ended up deciding that's where they wanted to go. So I was supportive of that. So they drove to Tennessee. Before they drove to Tennessee, what happened was they got him arrested. Okay, he went to jail, and she thought she would be able to escape because he got arrested for pimping and pandering. Okay, and so she was able to leave and drive to Tennessee with her friend Hannah. She was higher than Cooter Brown, just geeked out. So they get to Tennessee, and I'm on the phone with Rachel, and somebody knocks on the door at their hotel room, right? It is fucking her pimp, y'all. Her pimp followed her ass all the way to Tennessee from fucking Virginia, okay? From fucking West Virginia to Tennessee. So this girl is on the phone with me, and she's crying, she's scared, and I tell her, hang up the phone and call the police right now. So she calls the police in Tennessee, and they do nothing. They basically tell her that it's her word against his and that they can't do anything. So she takes a shower and she gets ready because the next morning they're going to go to treatment. That night they drive into town to go get something to eat, and they stop at this restaurant on the corner. They go inside, they enjoy their meal, and on the way out of the restaurant, Rachel goes to turn the corner, and guess what happens? She gets knocked the fuck out because her pimp is standing there and punches her in the face. That moment when he punched her in her face, she had a seizure and she had a mini stroke. We didn't know it, but that's what happened. Okay? So he gets arrested. Now he's in jail and he can't get out. Okay? So she goes to treatment the next day. Guess what the treatment center is? The treatment center is a faith-based treatment center with no nurses or no doctors. And she is literally coming off of like 25 different things. On her way to the treatment center, she was on the phone with me and she was hallucinating that clowns were following the car. Okay? So basically, she left. She walked straight up out of that bitch after about 24 hours. And she was back at it again. And she had to have somebody come and get her because Hannah was at work in Tennessee and take her back to West Virginia. So she gets back to West Virginia, and I'm like, you know what? We're going to try a different kind of treatment. What we're going to do is we're going to get you an appointment with your local Suboxone treatment provider, and you're going to get in there. You're going to get on MAT. You're going to get into therapy, and we're going to get you into PATHs, People Against Trafficking Humans, which is a place where she can have a safe house where she would be protected, where this pimp wouldn't be able to find her, right? And I'm like, yeah, this is a great idea, Nicole. You did. Good job, bitch. I'm like, I did it. This is a great idea. This is going to work. Hannah goes to work. Next morning, she has an appointment with the MAT provider. We are so excited. Things are working out. That morning, Hannah went to work. She's at work. She's getting ready to leave to go pick up Rachel to take her to go to treatment to the MAT provider. And she's not answering her phone. So she is fucking frantic. So she rushes to the house. And she finds Rachel there, overdosed, foam coming out of her mouth. Who knows how long she'd been there. And she picks up the phone that Rachel had, and it's just text after text after text from her pimp telling her that if she doesn't pay him back the $1,500 that she owes him, he's going to kill me, he's going to kill Hannah, he's going to kill her mom, he's going to kill everything. Hannah's mom, Rachel came from a family. Her mom was in prison. Her dad was in prison. Her mom died and her dad was in prison. Her mom died from HIV or AIDS and her dad was in prison. And her daughter was only 4 years old and her daughter was with her ex-boyfriend's parents. So her ex-boyfriend was also a drug user. Okay. So she's dead. They take her, they rush her to the emergency room. They put her on life support and she's brain dead. She's not coming back. Okay. And so they have to pull her off life support. I was hysterically upset. It was horrible. I still get very emotional. My husband brought this up the other day. He goes, I still can't believe that happened, but y'all don't even understand. There's more to the story. So Hannah called me and told me that she had passed away. Rachel passed away, and we were both really upset, but me and Hannah had gotten really close, and I was like, we can use Rachel's story, and it will help other women to be able to escape the reality of what Rachel was going through. And I was like, we have to look at it as a positive gift, right? Well, Hannah went to go stay the night with her mom, and I told her, you know what, you don't need to go back to your apartment. You need to call the police because there was, like I said, all these threats in this phone from this dude, right? He was in jail, y'all, sending threats through third parties to her, calling from the jailhouse phone. So then he starts calling Hannah from the jailhouse phone, telling Hannah that he's going to kill her if she doesn't pay Rachel's debt, right? And so I'm like, you have to go tell the police. You have to make a report. You got to do this. You got to do that. Do not leave your mom's house. You shouldn't go anywhere, blah, 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 blah. I'm telling her all these things, right? The next morning, Hannah got up to get ready to go to work, and she had to go back to her apartment. I don't know if it was to get clothes or what, but she goes back to her apartment. She goes upstairs. She gets dressed. She comes out of her apartment, and she is gunned down in her apartment building parking lot. And that's what she had just told me the night before. She had just told me the night before that she was pregnant. She had just found out. So basically, this dude from jail sent people to kill her. So when I tell you I was scared for my fucking life, I was scared for my family's life. I'm like, who's to say this fucker won't send somebody my way next? You know? Hannah died. She died. She's dead too. So not only did Rachel die from her addiction, but Hannah died as well, and they were best friends. Hannah had never used a drug in her life, you guys. She wasn't a drug user. She didn't use drugs, but she loved Rachel. They were friends since since kindergarten, since little grades. Okay. And when I tell you, this whole situation was treacherous, dude. Treacherous, terrifying, scariest shit that I've ever experienced in my whole entire damn life. And I've helped a lot of people get sober, okay? But this was something I've never experienced. And that is why when Rachel wanted to come to our treatment center when I worked for Dr. B, I said, we can't provide you with what you need. Like, what you need is out of our scope, right? And there's a lot of treatment centers that will not do that, okay? They will not do that. They will not tell you that they can't help you. They will take your money anyway because they want to make money, okay? If she had came to our center, there's no way we would have been able to help her with all the psychological issues that she was having from being pimped like she was by that man. Like, it was just out of our league, you know? And that's why I'm sharing this with you guys, because, you know, there's a lot of places that they won't have the resources to help you with what you really and truly need help with, but they will do it anyway because of money. And that's why when you're searching for treatment and you want to get help, you have got to do your research, because most of these places are not equipped to handle the issues or problems that you need help with. A lot of these places aren't. Okay, if you're wanting to get help and you're going into a 30-day residential treatment program, that's enough time. Okay, that's just enough time to get drugs out of your system. Okay, like, I needed like 2 years of extensive, really, really invasive therapy before I even started really healing on the inside, you know? I finally got officially on my own MAT treatment program as of yesterday, and I did my 2-day induction, and I'm on 12 milligrams every. There is so nice. So far, they are cool with my benzos. Cool. Who are you going through? Who's doing your MAT treatment? And so, yeah, I just want you guys to understand, like, it's so important to be careful and to do your research and to protect yourself, you know? Me too, Jessica. Me too. I didn't know, but, you know, and I still love watching his videos, but I feel the same way about people who videotape homeless people. Okay? Like, I feel kind of weird about it, you know? That's awesome, girl. I'm so glad they helped you. Psych nurse for 45 years. My daughter is a recovery counselor on maternity leave. We always discuss patients needing higher level of care. Yes. And it's like, when I went to get help, you guys, I was somebody who, I came from a good home. Okay. But you have to understand, like, using drugs for years and years and years, like I did, like, I had so much trauma and just major issues that I had developed, you know, from being in my drug addiction for so many years. Like, I believe that when you go to treatment, you need to be there for 90 days. If you can't be there for more, that would be awesome. But 90 days at least. Okay, so that way you can get the ball started and you can really get down and dirty and start really addressing, like, things that are going on the inside. Because when you're going into treatment, it's really just surface level care. Okay, it's surface level care. The treatment center is basically a glorified detox center. Okay, you're going there, you are getting drugs out of your system, and then you might learn like a couple of things they talk about in AA. please let me explain something to you guys. AA and NRA are great programs, but not everybody jives with them. Okay, so teaching classes on AA and NA things, I think it should be done away with. What I think they should be teaching you in there is how to develop new coping skills. Okay, how to identify your triggers and how to work through them, so that way you're not triggered by those things anymore. Like, I'm talking about major lessons. I'm talking about, if I was running a treatment center, I would spend a week on each one of these lessons, drilling it into these kids' brains and working with them and having examples, having little classes where we act out the scenarios. Like, if I was running a treatment center, it would be the shit. And people would actually get help from it, because I've been to so many treatment centers where all we did was read out of the book and highlight shit from 1939, and I was bored out of my mind. Okay? Bored out of my mind. I would help so many people, And I know what helps people learn and take things in is experiencing things, right? And so, like, getting up and acting out these role-playing scenes of, this is your drug dealer, and this is the girl, and this is the trigger, and this is the that. Those are actually things that I remember doing with one of my really badass counselors. And, but see, here's the thing. What happens to these therapists and counselors is they are so overworked and underpaid that they get burnout. And so they lose their passion for helping people. They lose their passion. And so they're in there just fucking trying to get out 5 o'clock, honey, when these are literally people's lives that are sitting in front of them. That's why they need people like me to come in and fucking ruffle people's feathers and knock things up a notch and get everybody back to having a good time and being passionate, because I've never lost my passion for helping people in recovery. I'm very blessed in that fact. I believe I'm very blessed. But it's also because I have a great boss who pays me what I'm worth and treats me right. These big corporations, these big treatment centers, they take advantage of these therapists and counselors and psychiatrists, and they don't care about them. I truly believe that, you guys. I truly, truly believe that. Back in the day, you did so much help for me, Nicole. I love learning about the steps with you. Hey. It makes me so mad, God, whenever I think back to those videos and how good they were, and they're gone. And they're gone now, because Jessica didn't like me calling her out. So, it really pisses me off every time I think about it. I think about how good those step studies were. Damn, my ear's bleeding. Like I said, the steps are not bad. I love the steps. Y'all know how I feel about the 12 steps. They helped me. What I don't like is the people in the program who take things out of context and make it hard for everybody else, But those step studies were fun, and people got into them, and I kept your attention. It was like really good. You're right. It was really good. I agree. I enjoyed listening to my own damn step studies, Those videos are all gone because Jessica didn't want to be questioned. That's it. Jessica didn't want to be questioned, and she thought she could erase me from the internet. Guess she was wrong about that, wasn't she? Sorry, y'all. Guess she was wrong about that, wasn't she? Oh, wow, my ear's really bleeding. Where's that bleeding from? She was wrong about that, because now there's triple the amount of people making videos. It's not just me. So it's like, at first it was just me. And I think Radiant Brit, and that's really all. Nobody else was making videos about Jessica. It was just me and Radiant Brit. And then, of course, Mindy. But Mindy was, on TikTok the most. And so, this ear should be healed by now, y'all. Look at that. Let me get this fucking earring out, too. I had to have my ears re-pierced about where what was it, 3 months ago, 2 months ago? Because one of my ears closed up really bad, or both of them closed up, so I had to have them re-pierced. Sorry guys, on the podcast, my ear's bleeding, and I'm trying to figure out why. Anyways. I didn't trust your boss at first, so I started speaking with him, and he convinced me in his intelligence. I was impressed. Yeah, and you guys listen, I don't want you to trust me. I want you to go do your research, okay? Go do your research. Dr. B is the real deal, okay? He is the real deal. He truly cares about helping people. I would never work for him if he was about that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, he's an amazing man, and I look up to him so much. He's my mentor. If y'all didn't know who my mentor is, that's Dr. B. Whenever I have something going on in my life, I talk to Dr. B about it. Like, I've been talking to him about all this Jessica Kent stuff, you know? And he advised me not to do what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway. Hey, just because he's my mentor don't mean I have to listen. Damn, I must have like an infection or something back in this ear hole or something. I need to get some medicine for it. Anyways, he advised me not to do what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway, damn it. Thank you, Anne. I appreciate that. So that story about Rachel, you guys, like, that was a changing moment for me in my helping people in recovery. Okay, like, I had been helping a lot of people up until that point, but I had never had anybody that I was so personally connected to have such a die like that and have such a horrible thing happen, right? And so, God, I'm worried about my ear. So after that happened, I didn't know what to do, you know? Oh yeah, it's the ear hole, actually. I'm going to have to get something to clean that out within a minute. Anyways, I had never had anybody really die that I was that close to. Now, recently, I had my friend Angel pass away. I just talked to you guys about that. Angel, actually, let me tell you how I met Angel. So Angel, she's so cute. Angel was a girl that I didn't know followed me, okay? She followed me on TikTok, and her mother has a TikTok account where she talked about her daughter's addiction and her recovery, because her mom's in recovery too. Okay, her name's Melissa, and she would talk about her daughter's experiences. One day she had made a video, and she talked about how I had commented on her video because I had said, Angel, I love you. I'm so proud of you. Keep working your recovery, because she had talked about her daughter getting sober. And she made a video saying, oh my God, you have no idea how much it meant to my daughter that you commented on our video. And I was like, it always makes me feel really weird when people are like, oh my God, Nicole, I'm your biggest fan. I'm really talking to you. You know, like, because I'm just like, I am literally just a regular person. You know what I mean? And so she was like, you have no idea how much it meant to my daughter. And so I DM'd her and I said, can I please have your daughter's phone number? I would love to call her. I want to talk to her. I want to become friends with her. I said, I'm not anybody. I'm just a drug addict in recovery trying to share my story. Like, I'm not a famous person at all. And so she said, yeah. And so she got me connected with Angel, and I called Angel, and she was so happy to talk to me, and we got to talking, and she needed help finding sober living. She was like, I really think I need to move into sober living. And I was like, I agree. And I was like, okay, I'm going to help you find one, because she was on Suboxone. Okay. So she needed to find a treatment, sober living that would allow her to be on her subs and be in sober living. So I found her one. I don't know what happened after that, you guys, but Angel decided to jump off of Suboxone, okay? Which I told her not to. Her mom told her not to. Everybody told her, stay on Suboxone for at least a year. Let's get your sobriety really, really strong and built up, and then we can help you taper off. You can use Sublocade to get off. Easy peasy chicken deasy, right? And she didn't listen, and she got off her Suboxone. And she had a lapse, not a relapse. She had like a slip where she used one time and got right back on track, right? And then she got back on track and she accumulated 6 months sober, right? Well, Friday of last week, she relapsed. And she didn't just slip. She went back to the neighborhood and said, Hasta la vista, bitches. I ain't coming back. I'm partying. Okay? And so she was out on the street that she used to get high with, running around with the people that she got high with, and all that kind of stuff. Okay? So, she was, and Angel was a lesbian. Okay? So her girlfriend had moved in with her mom because she was staying sober and doing the right thing. And she had FaceTimed her girlfriend, and her mom saw them FaceTiming and was able to see Angel was smoking, crack-a-lacka on the FaceTime. So she knew that Angel relapsed, okay? So she came to the internet and she was sharing with all of us that Angel had relapsed and that she was back to her, old ways and stuff. But she was praying that she's going to get back on track, and we were all wishing her well wishes and letting her know that we're praying for Angel and all that good stuff, right? And then I got a message to my messenger yesterday. That said, Angel's gone. She has lost her battle to addiction. And I was like, what? I said, you need to call me. You need to call me. And so her mom called me hysterically crying, telling me about Angel's passing away. And they found Angel in a hotel room. They took her to the emergency room and put her on life support so that way her mom could come say goodbye because she was brain dead. And they took her off life support, and Melissa said that they said it would only take 30 seconds for her body to, go down. But she said that she was laying there holding Angel. She said she was laying there holding Angel, and Angel's arms were shaking, right, until she died. And, when I just tell you guys, I know exactly what she's talking about. Because when my husband's father passed away, he was on life support, and we had to take him off at the end, and they don't go right away. It takes a minute for the body to fully shut down, And so it's traumatizing as fuck. And so Melissa said that she was laying there holding Angel, and she said, you can go. I'm going to be okay. You can go. So that's how I know Angel. So her mom reached out to me because her mom's a waitress. Okay, she doesn't make a lot of money, and they don't have money. They don't come from money, and she didn't know what to do, and she didn't want to ask for help if she just felt really weird about it. She said she's never done this before. She didn't want to ask for help because she didn't want to offend anybody or, people to think she was trying to take advantage of anything. And I told her, absolutely not. I said, you have been 100% transparent with your daughter and your journey. You literally vlog going to work at your job. I was like, nobody would have any problem donating to help with the burial of your daughter. And so that's when she decided, that she would post the GoFundMe that her best friend made her, because she didn't make the GoFundMe. Like, her best friend from childhood made it. She just felt really uncomfortable, asking for help. And I was like, man, it would be different if you were over here always doing that kind of. I said, but you're a hardworking lady who goes to work every day, and this is a tragic situation, So guess what happened? She posted the GoFundMe, and guess who donated $1,000 to the GoFundMe, y'all? Rosie O'Donnell! I'm telling y'all, the power of TikTok, I shared it all over my platforms, y'all know, but the power of TikTok is unbelievable. So needless to say, I think she's raised almost $10,000 to bury her daughter. And so I texted her and I told her, as soon as you meet your goal, what I would do is pull that down, tell everyone thank you, that no more donations are needed, that you reached the goal that you need to do what you need to do, and thank everybody. Because, some people will just leave these things up and let them go into the millions and take advantage, And so I was like, man, That's so cool to me. Like Rosie O'Donnell shared the video. It was just amazing. So, like, when you're doing the right thing and you're really trying to help people, like, people don't mind helping you, you know? And so I thought that was pretty fucking amazing. But hold on just a second. Hey, podcasters, we're coming up on that hour mark, so I got to jump off. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed my rambly but fun podcast episode today. I'm going to leave you guys some interactions like a poll and a question. Please make sure you answer the poll and the question, and also make sure that you subscribe to my podcast, leave a review, share it on your social media. Let me know what you guys think about accountability with Nicole. Toodaloo. What do y'all think about that? Margera 5150 treatment industry. Treatment industry. Treatment industry scandals. No, treatment industry unethical treatment. Wait. Unethical treatment industry practices and losing loved ones to addiction. Okay. So those of you guys that are on the live, you hear the podcast as it's happening. Now, I do record some without being live, but it's fun for me to just do it like this. What's up, buddy? Yeah, just a second. Let me post this podcast and I'll give it to you. It's publishing right now. Oh, my legs. So, yeah, when I tell you Angel, I have pictures of her. I'll show y'all. No, they're on this phone that I'm recording on, or else I would show you. I'll show y'all in a second. Okay. Y'all, we have almost 700 listeners. Okay, cool deal. Now, let's see. What color do I want to use? I know my favorite color in this. It's called, I think I'm going to either use bronze fountain or, excuse me, Queen's Banquet. Nope. Okay, this is bronze fountain. You can't even tell how beautiful it is, but it's beautiful. And then this one is Bloodline. That's the one I like. Bloodline. Let me show y'all how pretty it is. You can't even tell, but it's beautiful. So anyways, yesterday I was really upset and I was really emotional. I'm going to make a tribute video for Angel today on my TikTok. Her mom sent me a bunch of pictures of her so I can make a tribute video. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, I hate when people pass away from the disease of addiction. It sucks because, you know, as her mom did everything that she could do. Like, and I tried to continuously reassure her of that and tell her not to feel guilt or anything like that, because she did everything. She was a great example of a mother who held her boundaries but supported and loved her daughter and didn't judge her, and, you know, everything. She did a lot to try and help her daughter. And so I just want to reassure her to not, you know, beat herself up, because I know, and I'm doing it right now as we speak, the moment her mom told me that she died, I thought, what could I have done differently? God, if I had just said this. Geez, if I had just said that. You know, and this happens to me every time I'm involved with helping somebody that passes away, I think about all the things I should have said and done and what could I have done differently, And so I know if I'm feeling that way, then I know her own mother feels that way. So it's hard. I hate feeling like that, but it happens. I just want to say I'm so proud of you and admire your resilience and positivity. The way you picked up after your channel went down and now you're kicking ass with the podcast. Hey, thanks. I really appreciate that, baby. It means a lot to me, and I'm going to keep on keeping on because I'm not going to let nobody win over me. You know what I'm saying? And I know, Jessica, I'm going to pop these out and put them in my big, oop, don't want to break it though. My big, never mind. I don't want to scrape it. Never mind. I'm gonna have to do that a different way. So these pop out so I can put them in my big palette with all my other Cleona Cosmetic eyeshadows. So, at first when my channel went down, I was crying my eyes out, and I told my husband, I'm never gonna make another YouTube video again. I'm fucking devastated. Like that's 5 years of hard work down the drain. All my people, where are they at? They don't know that I'm gone. What are they going to do when they go to my channel to get help and recovery resources and I'm not there anymore? Like, I was fucking devastated, okay? I hope y'all understand that. Like, I was fucking crushed. And so I thought, bitch, you better get your ass up and come back with vengeance. And so that's what I've been doing ever since. I'm not going to let that girl get me fucking down. And Jessica can act brand new, like she didn't have my channel deleted, you guys. And you don't have to believe me that she did, but it's all right there in black and white. It's all right there on her channel, and proof in her own videos, proof in her comments on my channel, that she did what she did. And it sucks, but you know what? I tried to get my channel back, and YouTube doesn't care. YouTube doesn't care. They could really care less what I have to say. And it really made me realize how much Google doesn't give a fuck about addiction and helping people that have addictions. Like, you have to walk a really straight line when you're talking about drugs and addiction with the Google company Google. They're the worst when it comes to trying to do anything in the addiction space. And that's from a marketing standpoint, like working with other companies like treatment centers. Because what y'all don't know is that my real job that I get paid from, is I work in social media account management. And we manage some of the biggest treatment centers marketing. We market for them. Like, we do their commercials, we do their social media, we do their SEO, that kind of thing, okay? And so on the back end of things, when it comes to talking about addiction, like the stigma and all that is just really, really prevalent, and it's really hard here on a Google platform, So I tried to fight to get my channel back, but they didn't give a fuck. They didn't care what I had to say. Okay. So this color is, you can't see how beautiful it is, but it's so shiny and just beautiful. Okay. So let me see. I want to get a little bit darker in the outer corner because it looks sultry, baby. Sultry. I had been on YouTube for, how long had I been on YouTube, gotta fuck? Since 2018, making content, and I had never had a strike, ever. So that's why it was so crazy to me how easy it was for YouTube to just strike my channel and take it down, because I had never been in trouble with YouTube. That's why I was so caught off guard, because I'd never had any issues. And yeah. I'm busy right now. Whoever's texting me, Like, I have another life outside of your life, people. Sorry, not treatment people, but my other job. This one client, you guys, if he like texts me all day long, like all I do is post for him or something. I'm like, dude, listen, I have a life. I have like a kid at home. I have a YouTube channel of my own. I have like my own TikTok account where I need to make videos. So like when I post your video in the morning, I post your stuff and then I move on from that and go to the next client. It's not just like, oh, let me spend all the time with you today, baby. And that's how he wants it though. He wants me to like only be his. And I'm like, you're going to have to pay me something, honey, because I'm not just yours. Okay. So now we're going to do some black eyeliner. What do y'all want to talk about? What questions y'all have while we're sitting here chit-chatting? Okay. When Kent put out that body broker video, I unsubbed, went to look up you, and you were gone. Yeah, I know. I saw your comment on her page, God. Oh, it's up. Good. Welcome, everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's What's Up Wednesday. Today is a beautiful day. We're going to and I'm going to talk to you guys about Margera being 5150. But before we get into it, welcome everybody to Accountability with Nicole. This channel is all about recovery, addiction, and accountability. We hold ourselves accountable, and we talk about other people needing to be held accountable because accountability is not cancel culture. Accountability is not bullying, and accountability is not harassment. So, I'm so glad you guys are here today. I haven't decided what makeup look I'm going to do, but that's not the most important thing we need to talk about. Everybody come on in. I'm live on YouTube. To those of you guys that are listening to the podcast, so there we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, she has a lot of subscribers, Sabrina. So they could be. You want to call it OJ because he did text.
Yeah.
Here you go. There you go. Don't knock that down. Thank you. Okay. All right. So, when you have a lot of subscribers, you're not going to notice the people unsubscribing unless there's like a lot. It'd have to be a lot of people unsubscribing, I would think. But I don't know, you guys. I really don't. My goal with making my content wasn't to, talk people into unsubscribing or anything like that. My goal was for the truth to be out, the truth. That's all, okay? Like, you can still watch her content if you enjoy it and it's entertaining to you and you like that, that's fine. I'm an adult, my goal was that the truth needed to be out and that so many people were looking at her as this like role model and timid little goody two-shoe ass, when in actuality she's very calculated and cunning and dangerous, if you want to know the truth. And so that was my goal behind putting my content out about Jessica, is for the truth to be out, because you can't build a platform on lies and then expect nobody to say anything about it once your fucking lies are being exposed. And I think a good example of this would be Illuminati. Like, she's somebody who's done the same thing that Jessica does, been a liar. and has been able to have a successful platform built off of lies and just being a bad human. And so I think that what will happen with Jessica is eventually bigger YouTubers will start talking about it, and then she'll start bleeding subscribers that way. If she doesn't get honest, it just depends. If she gets honest, she might can save it, you know? Um, but we'll have to see about that. You know, she's silent right now, I believe, because she's trying to figure out with what to do next. Um, she's calculating. Like, while we're over here just chilling, having a good time, kikiing with the girls, she is literally trying to think of how she's going to come up out of this, and she's like very, 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 very calculating. She's very, very sick, and she needs help, honestly. Hey, Mikey. Yeah, so is Jessica. They have something in common there. See, a lot of people have been manipulated by the way Jessica presents herself online. It's all an act. It's all an act. I mean, she has been able to master manipulate that poor JD fella. She has him eating out of the palm of her hand, screaming and yelling on live stream, trying to stick up for her. And all he knows is what she has told him, you know? Which, like I said, I don't think anybody's questioning the fact that she was abused by Reese. I haven't seen anybody question that. What I think people are questioning is all the lies that have came out in the process of her trying to expose Reese. Okay? All these lies that she has been telling in the process, okay, are getting exposed. And so that's what people are asking about. People don't really question the fact that her and Reese probably were beating up on each other. You know, I believe that they were both methed out of their minds, my opinion, and they were beating each other's asses. That's what I believe. Because if you rewind and you watch some of Jessica's earlier videos with Reese, she talks about being the aggressor in all their fights. She talks about being the one to attack first. And then Reese talks about, don't worry though, there's no broken dishes or anything. Like, she sounds like she is not healthy in their relationship. And she talks about it herself, out of her own pie hole, you know, out of her own pie hole. So I think people just don't pay attention, you know? Woo. Yeah, that just makes him such a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? But you see, like, everything that he says on there, like, he says, don't abuse women and children. Like, yeah, that's not really, you don't give a fuck, because if they're your friend, they can abuse women and children. You know? Hold on, y'all. It's my boss. Hey guys, my boss needs me, so I gotta go. But yeah, Jessica's never taken accountability, and she will never take accountability. Love y'all.